Today, we are really getting into the weeds of what it takes to build a graphical user interface agent. We're going to be looking at ClawGUI, which is this new open source framework that tries to tackle the entire life cycle of agent development, from the very beginning of training all the way to getting it in front of users. So let's just jump right in. All right, let's start with the big idea, the core philosophy behind this whole project. This quote from the paper, honestly, it just nails it. The point is, making real progress with GUI agents isn't about just throwing bigger models at the problem. No, it's about building this robust, full-stack infrastructure, an engineering solution that can handle training, evaluating, and deploying these things reliably. And that engineering angle is exactly what we're going to explore. So what's been holding the field back? Well, the researchers here pinpoint this central bottleneck, and they break it down into 3 really distinct gaps in how things are done right now. And these aren't just small hiccups. We're talking about fundamental issues that are stopping us from getting from a cool research paper to a tool people can actually use. Let's dig into these. First up, the training gap. You know, most of the really powerful reinforcement learning systems, the ones used to train these top-tier agents, they're proprietary. They're locked away inside big tech companies. This means it's almost impossible for the academic community to reproduce results or build on each other's work. On top of that, training is almost always done in emulators, not on real phones. Second, the evaluation gap. And if you follow this space, you have definitely felt this one. The performance numbers you see in papers are, well, they're all over the map. One paper's 80% is another 60%. There's just no way to do a real apples-to-apples comparison. And finally, the deployment gap. Agents that are built in a lab almost never make it into the hands of real users. So we're left wondering, are these things even useful in the wild? Okay, so this is where ClawGUI enters the picture. It was designed from the ground up to be this unified, open-source solution that closes all 3 of those gaps inside a single system. The whole idea is to give the entire community a shared set of tools to work with. The framework itself is built on 3 modules that are really tightly knit together, and each one is laser-focused on fixing one of those gaps we just talked about. First, you have ClawGUI-RL. This takes on the training problem with a scalable system that can handle both emulators and real devices. Then there's ClawGUI-Eval, which is all about fixing that evaluation mess by creating a standardized pipeline. The goal? Results you can actually trust and reproduce. And third, ClawGUI-Agent. This one closes that final loop, getting these agents off the servers and onto real phones for real people to use. All right, let's get into the technical deep dive, starting with maybe the most complex piece of this puzzle, the reinforcement learning training infrastructure. This is really the engine room of the whole framework. So the real magic of this architecture is how it separates the brain from the body. See, over on the left, you've got the RL infrastructure. That's the brain. It's doing all the heavy lifting, all the learning. Then on the right, you have the environments. Those are the bodies. And they can be real phones or virtual emulators. The system doesn't actually care which one it's talking to. It just uses this one unified server to send commands like tap this button and get screenshots back. This separation is what makes the whole thing so flexible and lets it scale up to train across hundreds of devices at once. It's a really clever design. Now, the unsung hero of this whole setup is the environment manager. Its job is way more than just firing up emulators. It's about keeping the whole training run stable, sometimes for days or weeks. See, virtual environments, they crash, they stall. It's inevitable. So what ClawGUI-RL does is it runs automatic health checks, and this is the crucial part. It keeps a queue of spare servers ready to go. So when one environment goes down, the system just seamlessly swaps in a healthy replacement, all without interrupting the training. This is the kind of rock-solid engineering that you need to make large-scale RL actually practical. Now let's talk about a classic problem in reinforcement learning that gets even trickier in these GUI environments: sparse rewards. I mean, imagine a task takes, say, 15 different taps and swipes to complete. If the agent only gets a success or fail signal at the very end, how does it know which of those 15 steps were good and which were bad? It's almost impossible to assign credit correctly, and that just grinds learning to a halt. ClawGUI's solution to this is this really clever 2-level system. So it still uses that final score, right? A 1 for success, 0 for failure, but it adds a second layer of feedback with something called a process reward model, or PRM. You can think of the PRM like a coach that's watching over the agent's shoulder. After every single action, every tap, every swipe, the PRM looks at the screen and gives a little reward if the action seems productive, or maybe a tiny penalty if it looks like a wrong move. This gives the agent this constant, step-by-step guidance to keep it on the right path. And you can see the impact of this loud and clear in their study.
When they used a more standard approach, that's the GRPO line, which only gives that single reward at the very end of a task, the success rate was about 14.5%. But when they switched to their new method, GGPO, the one that uses that step-by-step coaching from the PRM, the success rate jumped to 17.1%. That 2.6 percentage point increase, that comes entirely from providing better, more frequent feedback during the task. It's a huge deal.
Okay, so let's move on to the next pillar of the framework. We've seen how they train it. Now let's see how they're tackling that reproducibility crisis in benchmarking with ClawGUI-Eval. The core idea here is a really strict 3-stage pipeline, where each stage is completely separate from the others. In step 1, infer, the model just does its thing. It runs the task and spits out all its raw actions. Then in step 2, judge, a totally separate process looks at those raw outputs and decides if they were correct based on the benchmark's rules. And finally, step 3, metric, just tallies up the scores. Because these stages are decoupled, you can do things like tweak the judging rules without having to rerun the super expensive model inference step all over again. It standardizes the whole process, making results finally comparable across different papers and labs. So we have this robust training engine and a reproducible evaluation pipeline. The big question is, does it all actually work? Let's check out the results. First, the headline number. The ClawGUI-2B model, which was trained completely end-to-end within this framework, hits a 17.1% success rate on the very challenging Mobile World GUI-only benchmark. Now, let's put that number into some context. So here's the comparison. ClawGUI-2B, which is a 2 billion parameter model, scores that 17.1%. That's a full 6 points higher than MAI-UI-2B, another model of the same size. But here's where it gets really interesting. Look at the other models. It also beats much, much larger ones, like the 32 billion parameter QuenVL and even the massive 72 billion parameter UI-Venus. And that brings us to the most crucial takeaway here. Infrastructure can matter more than just raw scale. A smaller model, when it's trained effectively through a robust RL pipeline with smart reward design, can actually outperform monster models that haven't had that kind of specialized training. This is just a powerful validation of that whole full-stack engineering approach they talked about at the beginning. Okay, now for the second major proof point, reproducibility. ClawGUI-Eval managed to achieve a staggering 95.8% reproduction rate against existing published results. This table breaks it all down. Across 6 different major benchmarks and more than 11 models, they were able to successfully reproduce 46 out of 48 official results. And the 2 they couldn't reproduce, those were from models where the evaluation setup wasn't even public. This is a massive result. It basically proves that all those discrepancies we see in GUI evaluation aren't some unsolvable mystery. It's an infrastructure problem, and a standardized pipeline like ClawGUI-Eval is the solution. So what does this all mean for the future? Well, the paper leaves us with this really fascinating question to chew on. Historically, command line agents and GUI agents have kind of evolved on separate tracks. But a system like ClawGUI, which can handle both, hints at a future where they converge. Are we headed towards a single unified agent harness that can treat CLI commands, GUI actions, and maybe even API calls as just different tools in a toolbox and learn to pick the right one for the job? Based on this work, that future feels a whole lot closer than it did before.